Once upon a time, in the heart of Bogio City, where the scent of pine trees fills the air, there lived a 28-year-old young man named Miguel. Miguel worked as a call center agent, and his life was a blur of noise and haste. His mind was always crowded with thoughts all day long. A river of worries would flow through his head, and these thoughts made him feel constantly drained and anxious. He would always regret past conversations and dread the next customer call. Because of this constant mental chatter, his mind felt like the busy session road during rush hour. He couldn't find a moment of quiet. He couldn't sleep soundly at night, and he had forgotten what it felt like to genuinely smile. One afternoon, while scrolling on his phone during a break, Miguel stumbled upon an article about a secluded cafe deep in the mountains surrounding the city. People said that a wise old man, a former university professor from Manila, owned the place. He had helped countless students in his career and had taught them how to find clarity amidst the chaos of life. Now, he was retired. He had left the frantic pace of the capital and started living a simple life in a quiet part of Bogio, close to nature. It was said he sometimes shared his wisdom with his customers. Miguel felt a spark of curiosity and hope. He decided that he had to go and visit this cafe, he thought. Maybe this wise man can teach me how to silence the noise in my head. After a long and winding jeepney ride that took him far from the city center, Miguel finally reached the place. It wasn't a modern cafe, but a small, rustic hut made of wood and surrounded by a lush garden of vibrant flowers and coffee plants. On the small porch, an old man was sitting quietly, sipping from a ceramic mug. His eyes were calm, and he looked completely at peace. Miguel approached him cautiously and said in a low voice, "Lolo, my mind is so noisy. I can't stop thinking. I just want some quiet in my head. Can you help me?" The old man slowly looked up from his mug and gave a gentle, knowing smile. He said, "So you are looking for silence? Then come with me. I will give you a task." The old man led Miguel to a small empty patch of land behind the cafe. He handed him a small shovel and a bag of seeds. "I want you to clear this land of all the weeds and rocks," the old man instructed. "Then plant these seeds. But here is the rule. While you work, you must not think of anything else. You must only focus on the feeling of the soil in your hands, the sound of the shovel hitting the earth, and the sight of the weeds being pulled out. If any other thought comes to your mind, you must stop, take a deep breath, and start again from the beginning." Miguel was confused. He had come for advice, not to do gardening, but he looked at the old man's peaceful face and decided to trust him. For the first hour, Miguel's mind was a storm. He thought about his work, his bills, and a conversation he had yesterday. Each time, he stopped, took a breath, and tried again. It was frustrating. He kept having to start over. But as the sun began to set behind the mountains, something started to change. Miguel began to focus on the task. He felt the rough texture of the rocks and the coolness of the soil. He heard the gentle rustle of the leaves and the distant chirping of birds. His mind, which was always racing, began to slow down. For the first time in years, there was silence. He wasn't worrying about the future or regretting the past. He was just there, in that moment, clearing the land. When the last seed was planted, the sky was painted with shades of orange and purple. Miguel stood up, his body tired but his mind surprisingly clear. He walked back to the old man, who was still sitting on the porch. "Lolo," Miguel said, his voice filled with a newfound calm. "I think I understand now." The old man smiled warmly. "Your mind is like that garden," he explained. "The thoughts of the past and future are the weeds and rocks. They take up space and stop anything new from growing. Don't find PCO. Don't fight the thoughts. You just gently remove them by focusing on the present moment, on the task right in front of you. Whether it's planting a seed, washing dishes, or simply breathing. Peace is not something you find. It is something you create, moment by moment, by emptying your mind." Miguel looked out at the peaceful mountains, a real smile finally reaching his eyes. He realized his journey wasn't to a place, but to a state of being. And he knew now he had the tools to cultivate his own inner garden of peace.